My Hero Academia is a great show, and does a lot of interesting things with the superhero genre. The story is set in a world where the vast majority of people grow up developing superpowers known as quirks. Our main character, Izuki, is quirkless and has no natural-born superpowers. Despite this, he remains determined to enter UA High School, where students train to become superheroes, and become the ultimate hero of the world. Izuki does this with the help of a famous superhero named All Might. Izuki goes through rigorous training with All Might, and this is one of the biggest strengths of the show, because the show doesn't handhold Izuki for being born without powers, but rather it operates under the idea of having to fight your own battles and your own struggles, regardless of how or where you were born. That's something that I and many other people can relate to. It's a very human sentiment that you can really feel as Izuki trains his body to become strong. All Might trains Izuki until his body is ready enough to receive the One for All, which is a quirk that All Might has that can be passed down to another person. With his newfound quirk received, Izuki enters UA High School. And when Izuki gets to school, he isn't treated any differently than the other students by the school staff. Aside from All Might, who's a teacher at UA High School, and who sort of does some things throughout the story to help Izuki in some ways. They're very minor, and generally All Might is a very good guide to Izuki and treats him fairly. Izuki is always positive and kind to everyone, despite his physical setbacks during the story. He's written very similarly to a ton of other shonen protagonists, though he's a little more anxious and soft at first. This is handled very well though. It makes you want to see Izuki succeed in his goals of becoming the greatest superhero. The emotional moments Suzuki has are pretty powerful at points. Some of them feel like they come a little too early on in the show, but none of them are bad. Seeing Izuki struggle and grow is one of the most compelling aspects of the show. One of the coolest things to me in shonen series has always been the struggle to strain. The show made me care about Izuki's struggles because it laid the proper groundwork in establishing his character. Izuki's aspirations of becoming the greatest superhero ever come from watching the All Might save people on TV. Izuki and everyone else in the show live in a world where superheroes are celebrities essentially, and becoming one is a real tangible possibility for most people. And this is one of the many examples of the show commenting on the nature of superheroes and playing with how they work. Superhero comics have been trying to subvert and toy with the idea of superheroes forever now. One of the first examples of this is X-Men, which, in a very similar fashion to My Hero Academia, contextualizes its superhero characters by having them be a part of this academy. X-Men and My Hero Academia don't subvert the genre in its entirety though, they just try and take a more realistic approach to portraying heroes. Watchmen is the ultimate example of subversive superhero storytelling because it has realistic characters and realistic consequences to their actions all throughout the story. I think we've sort of been getting tired of superhero media for a long time, and I think that's why the classic superhero story of just rescuing someone or just fighting a bad guy is sort of being phased out. I think this is a good thing though, because I feel like there's still more room for interesting superhero stories, and I like to see more experimentation and more new ideas come forth in the genre. And I think My Hero Academia is a good example of that. That's all for this video, guys. Leave a like and subscribe if you enjoyed the video, and leave a comment down below if you have any thoughts on it. Also, follow me on Twitter at Gigabytes1 for more updates on videos that are coming, as well as to read my random thoughts on whatever. I'll see you in the next one.